Good morning. When I was in high school, I often went on retreats with my classmates. And later, I was part of the retreat team at the school. And the retreats offered a chance for us as teenagers to think about God differently, to pay attention to everything we'd learned to that point, right? So 11, 12 years by then in Catholic schools. And to give a thought about what else God might be. Who else? How else? And I remember one exercise that we did on one of those retreats is we broke the teens into small groups. We were in small groups of about, 8, 10 people. And the group leader sent around a packet of manila folders, but one at a time and in silence. So there were about 8 folders, and each folder contained an image of God, of the divine. Many taken from scripture, most taken from artwork. And we were supposed to look for a moment at that image and then reflect briefly, we had paper, reflect briefly what that evoked in us. And then we would receive the next folder from our buddy. We'd just go in a circle. And I remember that the last folder that we received, as the teens next to me opened it up, they would pull back, startled, and then close the folder quickly and start to write, jot down some thoughts. And when the folder got to me, I opened the folder, and there, taped to the inside of the manila folder, was a small mirror. A mirror. Now, because of these 11, 12 years of Catholic schooling, you have plenty of idea what that means, that God lives within you, that the divine is part of who you are, and that part of your responsibility as one who believes is to carry that light and that image in the world. But it struck me so much when I looked at the mirror is that I don't know if I could find God there. We are our harshest critics, right? We are the ones who lay the heaviest burden on our own shoulders, and we have the sharpest tongue with ourselves. And yet, the mirror. Does God see something in me that I don't yet see in myself? Now, this mirror does not act as a Fitbit, right? So not measuring my behavior during the day, my steps toward being a light, toward being a brighter, more positive person. It does not count the times where I walk up a flight of stairs trying to be holier or kinder or more patient with others. This mirror is static, like the one glued to the wall in our bathrooms. It doesn't go anywhere, which means that regardless of where we are in our lives, whether we feel like we can take God to the world through movement and activity or not, perhaps we're not as mobile and not as movement-oriented anymore at this point in our lives. This mirror meets us there, a static reflection of God. What does that mean, that we look into the mirror and we see not only our own reflection, but that of the divine? When people see pictures of myself and my mom together, they often exclaim how alike we look. That I look like her. I have her smile and some of her energy. But physically, right? I resemble my mom. Activity-wise, no way. She's far more active than I am. And she's always trying to get me to be more active. So bravo, Mom, don't give up. But the reflection that people see, the image that people see on my face, is a similarity between my mom and myself. So that when I look in the mirror, my mom is kind of there, as well as myself. I think that's what I'm left with today in pondering this memory that I have of this mirror activity as a teenager. When people see me, do they see characteristics of the divine in me? Not just in what I do, but in who I am, that God dwells within me. Can people tell? Is it obvious? Can they see a resemblance? What does it mean when we look in the mirror and we see not only ourselves, but also the face of the divine? Lots of food for thought.